All right, everybody, welcome to Morning Journal session number 225. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, we live, baby. Morning Journal live every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern time. And we want to try to, it's Friday, so let's kind of get our energy moving a little bit. Sawed Off Shawty is here. What's happening? We're starting our conversation with talking about our daily routines. Maybe things that we can do to refine them, make them a little bit better. So we already got some folks chiming in on that, and I welcome you to join the conversation. If you're listening live, you can drop your answers in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, though. It's like, I really appreciate that. You can leave us a rating or review if you're really digging it to help other people find it. But yeah, thank you so much for that. Aunt Capone is in the building. What's up, Aunt Capone? Over on YouTube checking us out. I appreciate you, fam. Hope that your week has turned out better, moving in a positive direction, and that you are excited for the weekend. We getting the show started. We're talking about our daily routine, so let's take a look and see what the folks in the VIP have to say about the thing that they want to change in their daily routine. Jehovah Thickness says, I want to change my habit of waking up in the afternoon and still being tired and wanting to fight. I don't want to choose violence every afternoon. Hank Capone on YouTube says, I want to break the routine I have of rushing to get ready, not giving yourself enough time. It's like you act like you don't know where you got to be. Wait to the last minute, right? J-Man says, I want to break that routine of random momentary reflection on past regrets or cringing. J-Man wants to take cringing out of his daily routine. Ain't nothing wrong with having a moment to just like, can't believe I said that. Juno Punk, welcome in. It's good to see you. Jehovah Thickness says, I wake up mad. Now I'm going to have this lavender coffee for lunch. All that lavender and all that stuff that you've been taking and you still turned up. So Rebecca says, I would like to bring morning journal back into my daily routine, as well as my morning workout sessions. Oh, I used to be so productive in the mornings. Well, I'm glad that you're here. You know, you're here now. So lavender is supposed to calm you down, and Jehovah Thickness puts it in coffee. But I guess all it does is take you from 11 down to 10. So Sawed Off Shorty says, I would like to improve my eating habits through my days. I tend to overexert myself and then miss meals. So being more intentional about your eating habits. It's good to have people support you with stuff like that to remind you, hold you accountable to, hey, did you eat yet? Did you want to? You got to take care of yourself, right? Yeah, I know I have people checking on me, and I check on people. So there are a lot of ways that we can make each other better. And it's good to know that whatever it is that you are struggling with, that you're not alone in that, right? So right now it is 6:34 a.m. We do this stream every morning at 6 a.m. Eastern time. Start off shows like, nah, I'm good. Right. Quasha is back, so fresh and so clean. All right. Need some visibility here. Essence is in the building. Hey, Essence. It's good to see you. Let us know. We're talking about our daily routines. What is something in your daily routine that you would like to change? And it's good to know that whatever the routine is, at some point, it became a routine and you kind of chose it or fell into it, either or. But you have the power to, to change that. So, if you're choosing a destination that you're trying to reach, it might take a long time to get to a different destination. But you know how long it takes to go start heading in a different direction? That happens instantly, right? You're one decision away from heading in a different direction. Now, it might take time to get where you're going, but you're at least facing the right way, right? Jehovah Thickness says, I tripped and fell into the routine that I'm in. That's how a lot of it happens. You just kind of neglect your way into, you just kind of flow your way into a default setting, right? And you did fall into it, but a lot of times those defaults are kind of socially enforced or environmentally queued up for you. There are a lot of things that put pressure on you or exerting pressure on your decision making. Your decisions and your attention are an extremely valuable commodity that people are trading on and counting on, to manipulate your behavior, to make you buy stuff and wear stuff. Or whatever the case may be. So our environment is constantly shaping us, and a lot of the routines and the habits that we have are the fruit of the things and people we are around. So if you want to change something, sometimes you might have to start with changing the environment to make it more conducive to the direction that you're now headed. So Sawed Off Shorty says, I like to stop smoking as much as I do during my day as well. Said, just stop smoking as much. I'm not going to get crazy. I'm still going to smoke. Just, let me calm it down a little bit. Let me not be Snoop Dogg. So Anchor Point was like, that comes from the earth. So Miss says, I'd like to get up earlier with more consistency. Getting up early with more consistency. There's something really powerful, I think, about the early hours of the day. And when we can make use of them, I think it does. I mean, everybody's not of that chronotype where they're particularly lucid in the morning, but there is something powerful about these hours. So Never Rose is here. Hi, Never Rose. It's good to see you again. Hope that you've been doing well. So Tim says, I like my routine so far. I switch things up so I don't get complacent. If I had to pick something, I'd be not working until 9 p.m. 4 days a week. Yeah, that part, right? That part. Not necessarily ideal. Miss says get up early so you can set those intentions and meditate. Create some margin and clarity for what you want to accomplish or how you want to be and how you want to show up that day. The morning is a great time to do that. And it doesn't have to be an early hour, but just at the beginning of your day. So Sawed Off Shorty says, what's your outlook on fasting sleep? I miss certain days of sleep because I feel more coherent. So I would say that that's not something I do anymore. I know that there were times when I think you might feel a little more coherent when you are deprived of sleep. You might feel more coherent to yourself, but I would ask for an outside opinion on that. Or if you're up too late, you don't take the 2 hours and crash and stay up or work through them. Yeah, so this is a strategy that, okay, a little story time here, I guess. There was a point where I was dating a medical student, right? And her strategy was to not have any clocks. She had alarms, but she didn't have any visible clocks. So she was not ever vigilant about what time it is or what time it was. So she didn't sleep very much at all, but she didn't have the anxiety of not having sleep. Because I think there's part of it is where you're tired, and then there's also the recognition that you haven't had sleep that adds to it. So sleep is good, for your long-term health. If you're in a situation where you can't get as much sleep as you need, you build up a debt and you become, I think, for most people, you become gradually less effective in the long term, and it has a lot of long-term implications for your health. But there are periods of your life where you might not get as much sleep as other times. But I would question whether or not you don't sleep because you feel like you're missing something, right? That's a good question. So Lainey is here. Tan Solo, welcome in. We're talking about the things that we would maybe change about our daily routine. So Shawty is trying to use sleep deprivation as a pathway to a spiritual awakening, trying to alter that mind state. I do know that there were times, so I think there was a time where not sleeping was a part of my creative practice. I would stay up all weekend, and then on Sunday, I would go and try to create something. I experimented with that Da Vinci's sleep cycle where it was 2 hours on and then a 20-minute nap, 24 hours a day. I tried that before, and I just felt crazy. Kaloli is here. Welcome in. Harlow, thank you for joining us, and welcome to Spoon. Right now, we're just having some conversations about our daily routines. And Sawed Off Shorty is thinking about different approaches to sleep. I hope that everyone is rested well and clear. If you got a response, go ahead and drop it in the request box. We still have a few more. Never Rose says, I want to change a lot. Never mind the one thing. I'd like to have a better morning routine as well, to get up and do devotions, exercise, get the coffee in the system. And I guess being up at 1:43 a.m. is not conducive to that for you right now. So I expect that you will probably be kind of drifting off into the sunset here shortly. So J-Man is buffed up. There we go. So King David says, I'd like to use prayer or meditation more in the mornings. I work out for 1 or 2 hours in the morning, and it's always very intense. Personal revelations that show me who I can be when I adhere to my beliefs. So, you doing a lot. Let me work out for 2 hours. Let me put my body through something for 2 hours. So Harlow says 6:44 a.m. Yeah. Never Rose had to work on that day off, so I guess it wasn't a day off. I got to get swole. So you and J-Man out here trying to buff up. I hear you. I don't know. Maybe you need to get swole for the ladies, you feel me? If you think that's what it takes, 2 hours a day, I think that's more for you. I don't think no lady needs you in there for 2 hours. You can do something else. You can do something else with 1 of those hours at least. Quasha says, reading the Bible and spending time with God is something that you would want to maybe add to your routine or include in your routine. Yeah, we reuniting of the Turtle Trinity. Death by Music, like the live. Thank you so much. Death by Music. Death by Music says, no sleep, no problem. Coffee, workout, shower, light stretch, breakfast, workout, dinner, shower, heavy stretch, happy mood, happy life, music helps. Rattled them off, I guess. I don't know. Hey, seems like you got a lot of energy. So King David says, I just got out of the gym. My morning routine is wake up, go to the gym, go on Gene's live stream. I love the fact that you've included this in your morning routine. I am Kaloli, 1/3 of the mighty Turtle Trinity. All right, Trash Can has joined us. Jovi has joined us. Welcome in, folks. We're checking in about our morning routine. We got Miss Hippie over on YouTube. Miss Hippie, let us know. What's one thing in your daily routine that you would like to change? Oh, psilocybin. Okay, that's why a Trash Can is in purple. It's good to see you, fam. All right, so we can get ready to go into the next prompt. Let me know. Just drop a heart in the chat if you're ready to go on to the next one. All right. I'm seeing some hearts, so let's get into it. So Miss Hippie's like, I don't know, I kind of like my routine. Miss Hippie's got it locked in.
Never done routine. That's what I'm saying. If it ain't broke, don't break it. You know they say.
You know, if it says, if it's not broke, don't fix it. No, if it ain't broke, don't break it. Right? Which is kind of a good segue to our next prompt. What are we having for breakfast, miss? Let me know. Thank y'all for dropping those likes. Yeah, that part, right? The next prompt we're going to be talking about, what are you overcomplicating? I think sometimes overcomplicating things is a really elegant form of procrastination. We create these artificial barriers between what we intend and the actions that it takes to get us there by adding extra steps. And then making it so big that we can't face it, right? With the extra steps that we add. So Miss is having Honey Nut Cheerios with almond milk. It's too early to cook. So Sawed Off Shorty said, I am overcomplicating my reactions to my emotions. I think Sawed Off Shorty, is this your first time in here with us? I mean, you might have been here before. It's your first time. Cool. It's like, yeah, it is. Yeah, well, I appreciate your engagement, your responses to what's going on. It's kind of helpful for me because sometimes the chat gets away from me. If you put your answer in the little mailbox, if it's in relationship to the prompt that's in the background, so that I don't miss it in all of the other stuff that's happening in the chat. But not everybody does that. Like Kaloli doesn't do that a lot of times. But if you want to make sure, either drop it in there or drop a little green check mark beside it so it can stay. Because I like what you have. I like what you're adding to the conversation. Clown Man is here. What's happening, Clown Man? Honk, honk. I'm watching you, Clown Man. Peep the vibe if you come in here acting, So King David is eating hummus, chopping vegetables, eggs, bacon, broccoli, mushrooms, carrots, hummus, avocado. That's a lot. How's your health? Yeah, pretty good, I guess. I feel like, low-key, King David, I feel like you're just trying to take a shot at Miss for having cereal. I think this is just like a flex. Right? Oh, I'm doing all of this. We get it, King David. We get it. You healthy. We get it. All right. What are you overcomplicating? Never Rose says, everything. Never Rose says, I overcomplicated today trying to get employee reviews done, and it's overwhelming. Employee reviews done. I'm sorry that you're feeling so overwhelmed, Never Rose. Overwhelm is such an uncomfortable feeling. Yeah. I think overwhelm is so uncomfortable that a lot of times we have an active fear of it. And I think our fear of being overwhelmed can be the root of procrastination. And then oddly, the procrastination feeds the overwhelm. It's like this vicious cycle. So Tim says, I'm overcomplicating relationships. Overcomplicating relationships. Well, I think Um, I think relationships are kind of inherently complicated. So if you add other layers of complexity to it, it really can be hairy. So Trash Can says, what genre even is the background music? I don't know. What would you call it? I mean, you like it? Do you like it? All right. Enter a nickname has entered the chat. Thank you so much for being here. What are you overcomplicating? That is the question. J-Man says, no more overcomplicating for me, just a journey and being happy. I'm keeping it super simple. Super simple. I love that. I love it. Miss says, I'm overcomplicating getting up early. All we got to do is plan. I'm so difficult. Well, I mean, old habits, right? Death by Music says, I'm overcomplicating everything. I write songs, but overcomplicate them by making them too long and sometimes work because I work with therapists and relationships. I'm just bad at those. I think one of the reasons why I think we sometimes overcomplicate things, well, a part of it is there's a fear. There's a fear of failure that might be inherent to what it is that we're doing. So we're trying to guard against that. We're being like super over vigilant about all the different things that can go wrong. And sometimes, we hide things, or we hide in complication. Sometimes you think that you need to start in the beginning or start at the beginning of something, when in reality you need to start in the middle or start at the center of something. You don't start at the beginning necessarily, you start at the center with what's most important. And then you work your way out from there. Because a lot of times we'll start on the edges with things that are trivial, and we'll have a whole lot going on, but the main thing isn't taken care of, and it just looms. And now we got all this overhead that we created by working from the edges and not getting to the heart of the matter. So Never Rose has a fear of failure and hurting and offending people. Yeah, that's a difficult, if it's the first time having to, give someone some feedback in that type of context, I understand it can be pretty fraught. For sure. Mo is here. We're talking about overcomplicating things. Quasha is marveling at the snow. Lainey says, I'm overcomplicating my entire life. Yeah. We be on the run sometimes, don't we? We busy ourselves. We busy ourselves. Quasha wants to pass around a gin to end the snow and winter. If the snow is still falling after the clocks move, what are we even doing? Sawed Off Shorty says, oh, this one. I was wondering why I could only use 15 characters. Yeah. Hey, look at Mo all perked up. Thank you so much for that. Purple Gang is definitely representing in here today. We got 18 of y'all in here, which is awesome. And 8 people from the Purple Gang. So I love it. It's beautiful. So let's continue to check. King David says, I overcomplicate my life. I try so hard to be better that I forget my past is my only competition. You're always striving and you forget I'm only competing against a former version of myself. Oh, whoa. Yo, Laney, what's up? Laney, what's up? Purple Gang represent. Beautiful. All right. It just feels right. Don't it feel better? Don't you feel underdressed? I know, right? It's like I'm underdressed. Quasha is overcomplicating getting to the studio. Overcomplicating getting to the studio. What you out there doing? What you recording, Quasha? Get in the lab, yo. We need to hear that. King David says, I did dirt out in them streets. I'm trying to be better. I hear you. Well, congratulations for turning over a new leaf. Yeah, Quasha Quasha is a voice over artist. And I don't know, y'all might not have heard Quasha's voice. I know I coaxed Quasha onto the panel for Writer's Room one time. Quasha got up there and read. All right. Blessed, welcome in. We're talking about the things that we're overcomplicating. Yeah. As a general rule, a lot of folks in here just generally do that as a practice. And a lot of times when we overcomplicate things, it's a method of avoidance. If we're honest, it's sort of like a method of avoid something. So if we're ready to go to the next prompt, drop a heart in the chat. King David is gonna go hop in the shower. After you work out, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. All right. This one might be a little difficult to answer, but I believe in you. I believe in your ability to think through this deeply and reflect. And sometimes it's just a case that maybe you don't need to share. Maybe you just need to think about it yourself, right? But I'm going to reset the request box. So what's one thing that you are resisting that would improve your life? A lot of times we have answers, right? We have answers and we won't allow ourselves to acknowledge the answers that we have. So I'm posing the question, what are you resisting? You're rebelling against something or resisting something that deep down you know it would improve your life if you leaned into it. Lainey says, I can't share this. That's fine. You don't have to share. I mean, there is the anonymous. But of course, now that you put it out there like that, if you go in anonymous, we're going to guess it is you. So everything that's wild or anonymous, we're going to think is you. So Death by Music says emotions, resisting. So that's kind of a broad a broad category of things to resist. Is there a specific emotion that you are hesitant to open up to and include? Is there a specific emotion that you are excluding? Over on YouTube, it says, I'm resisting a couple important personal choices that have to be done. It's like I'm just kind of falling back a little bit. We fall back sometimes. Resisting being vulnerable with anyone, Miss Hippie says. I got to keep that thing caged up. So J-Man says, I've been resisting possibly leaving Spoon. So Death by Music elaborates and says that all emotions actually, I'm extremely antisocial and never really talking to people or opening up. Yet here you are, right? Here you are. You're opening up and talking with us, sharing with us, and adding a lot to the conversation. And I don't know, maybe it feels good. Maybe it feels like something that you can do more of and grow through. Ghidorah Beelzebub, welcome in. Is there something that you are resisting that would improve your life? Lainey says, can somebody else be anonymous? So, Miss says, I am resisting submitting, even though I know to do so would improve my life. Miss is resisting submitting. Lainey with full chest. Divorce. Full chest in the chat. Everybody put, hold on, let me find. That's tough. As a divorced person, I know that's tough. But everybody put one of these in the chat. Whenever, somebody says something, just throw one of these in the chat. So, yeah, it's not an easy thing. Making relationships work, it's not easy, and it's heartbreaking because it doesn't necessarily speak to the degree to which you care or love the person. It's just a comment on the relationship itself and how it's working. All right. So we have a few more responses that we can get to here. Enter a nickname. Says that you are resisting giving my various arbitrary emotional constructs any deep concern. I'm resisting giving my various arbitrary emotional constructs any deep concern. Lainey says you've been fighting, but I called it a while ago. I really appreciate the way Enter a Nickname uses language. Makes you think about all the words that are there. I wonder I wonder if enter a nickname is hiding behind that, though, you know? I love it, though. Kaloli's back. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. So we're talking about what we are resisting. Quasha says, I'm resisting a healthier diet because them chips. Yeah, I don't know what your guilty pleasure is with the diet. It's the chicken for me. So, Quasha, does your pastor eat chicken? Because I heard that all preachers eat chicken. All preachers love chicken, is what I heard. All right. Tim says, surely there is, but I don't know. However, I think y'all should go listen to Resistance in G's Daily Podcast. Oh, we got a little plug in here. Go to podcasts, click uploads, and you'll see it. Yeah. Thanks for teeing it up. There is, I do have a lot of short form content that you can listen to on my profile. If you just go to the podcast section, I have a series of about 28 short podcast dailies. So, Laney's like, what's wrong with chicken? Ain't nothing wrong with chicken. It just depends on how much you have of it and the way you prepare it. It's not the chicken per se. It is the grease that you fried it. All right. So I will start back pinning those dailies to the top of my profile to make them easier to find. And just also as a note for folks in the community, I did have a conversation with Spoon Team yesterday, and they want to promote those podcasts out, on social media and on the platform and outside the platform. I just have to pick which one I want to have them promote, and then they're going to send a little traffic. I know a lot of people find the stream through my podcast called Artist. Are You an Artist? So I know that it does work in terms of helping increase the following. So yeah, we're going to figure out which one we're going to promote, and maybe y'all will see a banner that'll lead you to one of those podcasts. So you can go ahead and drop a green heart in the chat for Retha, who has just joined us. Madi is here. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about the things that we are resisting that would improve our lives. Valen says, taking my anger out on others uncontrollably. If you really think about it, that's a luxury. Because you pop off, it might feel good for a split second, and then you got all that work to do to put things back together. So even if you need to say something that's serious and important and hard to hear, sometimes when you pop off, it's not the most effective thing anyway. So you said you take it out on the wrong people and can't hold back, and then you feel bad, and then you got to go back. So there's coffee and donuts in the chat, folks. If you haven't had any coffee yet this morning, shout out to Miss for sharing enough coffee to go around. We got about 18 cups of coffee floating around, and I appreciate that. I know it's breakfast time. Grab a coffee, grab a bagel. We can get ready to go into the next prompt here in just a second. Let me see what we got. So yeah, drop me a heart in the chat. We'll go to the next one. Well, that's 86. All right. I'm really taken back by these 30 background changes. That's 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 clutch right there. Y'all might be in for it now, because I kind of structured my show around the limited number of background changes. All right. So I'm going to reset the request box. The next question that we have up here is, what do you intend to accomplish that is difficult but important? Difficult but important. I'll set the request box to give you an opportunity to start working on that. I've also updated the notice. We at 86 out of the 150 goal that we have for today. So, we killing it. I appreciate y'all. Request box is open. What do you intend to accomplish that is difficult but important? Like the value accused to the things that you do that are difficult. Because if it's easy and anybody could do it, then it's not particularly valuable. And it doesn't have to be physically difficult. Like there's the emotional labor. There is the discipline. There is the getting over the I don't want to's. There's a lot of things that you can technically do one time, but then, there's the stuff that when you compound that over doing it daily over time, you build momentum in interesting ways, and it becomes extremely valuable. It changes your life. Showing up changes your life. Showing up with intention in a specific direction over time changes your life. I think the misconception is about how long it takes and for how long you need to do it. But it happens. So think about what you would be willing to put that type of work into that you can accomplish, whether it's something that you are doing interpersonally in your connections and relationships, or career-wise, or creatively. It's worthwhile to accumulate and focus efforts in a direction and make something significant. Your biggest contribution lies in your willingness to do that. And a lot of your happiness is tied to the contribution that you make. A lot of times we express things, the way we express things can give the impression that we are being selfish, but ultimately, art, creativity, these are all very generous acts. Bringing something into the world that didn't exist before is extremely generous. Sometimes we have to appear selfish in the moment to put in the work and make the sacrifices necessary to bring these things forward. But ultimately, we're being extremely generous by committing to that labor, committing to that effort and growth. Yeah. So as you consider that, we are past the top of the hour. So I want to take a second to acknowledge and announce and share with the folks who are listening and watching Morning Journal. This is session number 225. We're glad that you're here. We are available on YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Wherever you happen to be watching, I really appreciate that. You can catch us live every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern. We have about 30 minutes of bonus content every day exclusively on Spoon. And that's where you see the chat rolling and the conversation going. If you want to be a part of that, you can find links in the description and in the show notes, and you can join us over here. Also, there is the Morning Journal newsletter. Sometimes you don't have a solid block of time to reflect, so you can get some prompts delivered directly to your inbox and, think about it and maybe make your day a little brighter, give you something to think about and improve your life, hopefully. The newsletter is free. You can find links to it as well in the notice, in the descriptions. I'd love to have you as a part of that community. Finally, in terms of promotions right now, there is a monthly promotion going on for the month of March on Spoon, specifically for folks who are in the VIP listening. The way that I'm approaching it is we just kind of set a daily Spoon goal. We hit that goal. If we hit that goal every day, we got a little extra in the bank. But at the end of the month, if we're able to reach ultimately the weekly goals, then, we get some extra promotional support. And it's not a direct competition because as many people as he hit the goal can win. So we're not pitting people against each other. Everybody can win if you have the support. And I'm grateful that I have such a supportive community here that's helping us move forward and continue to grow and cover the overhead of showing up every day like this. So we had 86 out of 150 today, and we crushed it yesterday, so we got a little extra in the bank. I'm confident that we're gonna hit the goals that we set for ourselves for sure, and I appreciate you. All right, let's get into our responses. What do you intend to accomplish that is difficult but important? So, Death by Music says, winning in life. I intend to win in life. I will encourage you, Death by Music, to think about how so anytime you have a goal or a vision like that, if there isn't a specific project attached to it, you don't know what to do when you get up every day, right? So I understand the overall goal. What can you attach to it so that tomorrow morning when I wake up, this is what I can do to move towards that winning at life? So Steve is here from the Hold Up TV. What's happening, Steve? Good to see you this morning. We're talking about the things that we intend to accomplish but are difficult but important. Noble Ancient has joined us. So Tim says, freedom, living with full freedom. Let's get it. The pursuit of freedom is an epic quest. It is difficult, but quality of your life is in many ways in proportion to the freedom that you create for yourself. So J-Man says again, mental, physical, and financial well-being is difficult to get those, but I'm committed. It's important. Lainey says, I intend to accomplish a happy, full life and being comfortable being alone if that needs to happen. So the growth required to be able to exist alone and be okay, be better than okay, to be joyful alone. I think a lot of times we are just trying to get through the day because some of these days are long. I think it might be useful to think about getting from the day. What can you take from the day? And when you're kind of focused on the growth and the learning, sometimes the pain and the misery kind of falls into the background. It's just kind of orienting yourself towards curiosity and openness and non-judgment, all those things. Noticing what you're feeling and letting it be okay, but just noticing it, So Steady Woke Life is in the house. What's happening, Steady? What do you intend to accomplish that's difficult but important? So and skip around in the backyard without shoes on, save and budget and do without so I can make these changes. Long-term goal is being your own boss, getting a food truck, but one thing at a time. There you go. And Capone says, people always say I have a calling for speaking, but I'm scared. I fall short of the things I'm trying to teach. Yeah, you do definitely have a unique gift for communication and connection and storytelling. So leaning into that, it doesn't happen overnight, but just consistently leaning into it. Alexis Autumn Elf has joined us over on Spoon. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for everything that you are sharing. It's a great conversation this morning. I'm feeling really good about it. All right, we're talking about the difficult but important things. Steady says, yo, waking up. Right now, waking up is difficult, but I got to do it. I got to do it. I think a lot of times when it's time to get up is when the questions that we have about our choices kind of rain down on us. It's like, why did I make last night? Why did I make last night like this? So that now this morning is like this. Why did I play myself? Or maybe Steady is talking about something deeper. I don't know. So Miss says, I need to write more and dedicate a specific practice to it. Writing is difficult, but it shapes culture and society and is very important. So one of the things insight I heard from, I can't remember the writer, a novelist that is a pretty prolific writer. He says that what most people think about writer's block, it's just what it feels like to write. Writer's block is just what it feels like to write. It's supposed to be difficult. It's unnatural. It's unnatural. You know? Hey, thank you so much for the roses. Thank you. I really appreciate that. J Flock, welcome in. We're talking about the difficult but important things that we are intending and willing to commit to. The Hold Up TV says, I will succeed. I will grow the Hold Up TV network into something amazing. I will make this a brand I can pass on to my children. I will set my friends and family with success. Hold Up TV is building something here. It's like I'm building something here. D Love, Sexy Steve Harvey. Welcome in, folks. I hear you. You're definitely on that grind. And it ain't easy. But you are taking those steps. Your mom's. Wow. How about that? All right. Difficult but important things. That's the question. Noble says, I'm gonna go ahead on and finish Race for the Kitchen, and then 4-player test for the first time. Gonna play test it for the first time, and I intend to create the prototype. My skills will grow. It's always great to make progress on a project that is valuable. The progress is great. The growth, though, right? That growth is unmatched in terms of how gratifying it is when you notice yourself getting better at something that's important to you. What kind of feeds you? All right. Difficult but important. Alexis says, I intend to be healthy both physically and emotionally. I have a mantra. I don't want to be skinny. I want to be healthy. I try to do what I can to make better choices. So we got Bomb in the house. Lainey says, I believe this needs to become a part of my morning routine. Well, I would love to see that. I would love to have you here. Sometimes it's worthwhile to do a little bit of reflecting to start your day, and that's why we're here. All right. Let's see what else we have in the box. I think I got everyone's responses. If we're ready, we can go ahead and drop a heart in the chat and we can get on to the next one. So I think that you responded in the Discord to one of Cade's prompts from Faye. So I don't know if you know Cage. He's around sometimes. He's got a newborn. So yeah. So Cage is sort of the chief resident over on the Discord. Yeah, we do have a Discord. The links, I don't promote the Discord enough in here. But we do have a Discord and there are prompts in there, creative prompts, reflective prompts. And it's just kind of there. It's not like a busy popping conversation. It's just a lot of resources, a lot of prompts, and a lot of assistance when you need it. So you can find the links to the Discord on my profile here and go holler at me over there. So let's get ready to the next prompt. I think sometimes without us even knowing, we are exerting a level of influence over the people around us. It might not, you might be like, I think it was Charles Barkley. It says, I'm not a role model. Don't follow me, follow Jesus. I don't know what he said, but he's like, don't follow me. I'm not your role model. But the fact is we are out here, right? If you are out here and people are seeing you, they're picking up. You might not want the attention, but you got it. Whether you want the attention or not, you got it. So just if you were a model, and I think even thinking about it in a more universal way, in a broader sense, you are an ancestor. We a lot of times we are thinking about the gifts that the ancestors, people who came before us, left behind, whether we are their direct, descendants genetically or in their family line, or just the people who lived on the planet and created the things that we use and enjoy and appreciate. They are the ancestors that So you are an ancestor. What type of ancestor are you going to be? What type of things are you going to create and model that people who come later will be glad that you came this way? So, if we followed you, where could you lead us? And I think that when we ask that question, it kind of puts the conversation about the difficult, important things that you are doing, the routines that you're having, the things that you are. These are all evidence of the places that you could lead us. Don't follow Tim. Don't follow Tim. So Miss says, I can lead you to liberation. I can lead you to liberation. You follow me. Go us. Get free. Steve Harvey says, I'm leading y'all to the fridge. I got some ice cream. I got some ice cream for you. Yeah, I think a lot of times we can either be unintentional leaders and recognizing that people are watching us and not recognize or acknowledge that people are being influenced by you, or you can be an intentional leader and think about the impact that you are having on other people we can get kind of wrapped up in our own lives and focused on our own specific outcomes. But the fact that our impact radiates, the energy that you show up with radiates, you have the power to make or break a person's day with the way that you interact with them. So maybe it's worth thinking about. Maybe not what you're doing now, but where could you lead us? The possibility is what I want you to consider. Not so much what you're doing now, but what's possible. If you think about the direction that you are facing now, it's not about where you are, it's about where you are facing. And when you take a step in that direction, if folks followed you, where would we end up? So Miss Hippie says, I would lead you to appreciate nature and each other. Miss Hippie has leadership skills, but scared of failure. It's a lot of responsibility, right? It's a lot of responsibility. So it's like, I don't want you to, like if you follow me, I feel kind of responsible if I trip up. Well, I think the biggest thing is about the example that you are setting, and your humanity in that context. And I know there's a level of significance that gets added when you bring others along, right? There's something powerful about bringing others along. Because if you're on the journey and you're experiencing blessings of, there's stuff that you want to be able to share it with, you want other people to experience it too. I know y'all ain't that stingy. So Aretha says, I would lead you to love God and music. Steve Harvey said, I got to go update Spoon. It's tripping in here. So J-Man says, I could lead you heart of compassion and a lessons in patience. I can lead you towards compassion, gratitude, patience. There we go. So D-Love says, breaking through struggles, knowing it's possible to be successful even if all the resources were not given to you. Breaking the victim mentality, switching to survivor mode. So follow D-Love if you want to overcome some things. If you want to see how to overcome some things, look at my life. Look at what I've been able to overcome, and imagine that to be possible for you because it was possible for me. I think our understanding of what's possible kind of goes in phases. Some things from where we are right now, they're legitimate. They don't seem possible for us. But if you could start with the step of saying, well, it's possible. It's a possible thing that exists in the world. And, we don't want to fool ourselves. You can't lie to yourself and with a straight face. You'll know if you're keeping it real with yourself. So when you start claiming possibilities that you don't really believe, that self-deception is going to trip you up. But I think that you can legitimately acknowledge that it's possible, just period. And then you grow into greater possibilities as you move along. If you're facing in the right direction, if you're oriented towards your vision, then your sense of what's possible for you will eventually include that thing just possible in general. So follow D. Follow D. Ashlyn, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Noble Ancient says that if you followed me, I would lead you to unlocking your adventure. Each adventurer has their own adventure to find, but they have to learn how to see it. So Noble will give you the adventures that are available in your 24. So seeing it and perceiving it is a prelude to going on that adventure. So follow Noble. Find your adventure. I don't know. I might have just gave y'all a tagline for Armistice Games. Feel free to use that. So Lainey says, to a happy, full, self-loved life. You got to love yourself like your life depends on it. It does. Love yourself like your life depends on it. Jovi got something for us. I will lead you in depth thinking to reevaluate outcomes and your reactions. Yeah, look at yourself. Jovi's like, yo, look at yourself. So Alexis says, hey, don't follow me. I would get both of us lost and then ask you where we were supposed to be going. I have been scattered in my energy lately, so YouTube videos and research, all kinds of randomness. So don't follow me, not now. I got it. Noted. Sometimes it's fun to get lost though. Sometimes that randomness is just what we need to shake things up. We got the promo and request box. I can lead you to G's daily once again, as these titles resonated with the stream today. 19, The Resistance. 26, Overwhelm. Number 20, Mourn, Regret. Hey. So episode 19, episode 26, episode 20 are connected to today's episode. Thank you so much, Tim, for that update. All right. Chloe says, I'll lead you to the beach. If you follow me, let's go to the beach. Let's see the sunset. Let's watch some waves crash. Let's not be cold. So someone says, hey, you want a pancake? You don't have a choice. You will take a pancake. Oh, if you elitist, yeah, you don't have a choice. You will take a pancake. So enter a nickname says, I can lead you to the empty space at your center, which is what the absolute fullness of the physical universe needs in order to perceive itself, that it is the non-self for whom be the I am. All right. I feel like I needed to change clothes to read that. Like I needed some accessories, like a beret or something, and a cigarette in a cigarette holder. Different glasses, I don't know. I feel like I needed to put an effect on that. I can lead you to the empty space at the center, at your center, which is what the absolute fullness of the physical universe needs in order to perceive itself. That is the non-self for whom be the I am. Huh? uh, thank you. Enter a nickname. All right. Bomber's like, why are you following me? We about to be lost. We about to be lost. Don't follow me. All right. How are we looking on time? Okay. All right. Oh, we got more coffee and donuts. Thank y'all. Yeah, some new folks came in. Grab yourself a coffee and some donuts. I guess I need to reconfigure our count. We got one more prompt that we're going to use, or we're going to have for the folks in the VIP, and we're going to get ready to say goodbye to the listeners over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, etc. Again, if you want to catch the full 2 hours that we do every morning, you can join us over in the VIP. The links are right there in the description. We'd love to have you here. We'll be back. For you, we'll be back on Monday. We do have 2 exclusive streams tonight on Spoon. We also have an exclusive subscriber-only stream on Sunday, which I'm feeling like it's going to be lit. We got all these new additions to the Purple Gang, so Sunday's subscriber-only stream will be lit. But we're going to wrap things up on the outside. We're going to hang out with the VIPs for the last 15 minutes of the stream. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Make sure that you give us a rating and review if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, etc. Subscribe to the newsletter so that you can get some prompts and commentary straight in your inbox to make your day a bit better. And have a weekend. I'll check y'all soon.